This spring I went to Liverpool once again, the third time in 3 years. And for the first time I also visited the Casbah club, which is one of the last big Beatle places I hadn't been to before. And I have to say, next to the National Trust tour of the childhood homes of John and Paul, this is by far, in my opinion, the most rewarding Beatle place if you're a Beatle hardcore fan. Our guide was not anyone. It was Rogue Best Jr., who's the son of Rogue Best, and Rogue Best is son of Neil Aspinall and Mona Best, and therefore also stepbrother, half-brother, I think it's more precise, half-brother of Pete Best, but also son of Neil Aspinall, the Beatles roadie. So really great to have the tour with him, and he was a great guy, very insightful, and lots of typical Scouser sense of humor. And now we're going through the Casbah Club, which is, maybe even more so than the Cavern Club, club where the Beatles really learned their trade, where they really became the Beatles. In Hamburg, Cavern, but also, and maybe mostly in the Casbah Club, they really found their identity. The club founded by Pete Best's mother, Mona Best. And here you also the walls. Take a look at all those walls. They were painted by the Beatles. They were painted by John, Paul, George, and Pete. Here you can see, and here again you can see John. John signed those walls with his name, which Mona Best didn't like. And yeah, this is really a historic place, and it's also a beautiful place with a nice garden. And after the tour, I could also talk for a couple of minutes to Rogue Best, and he told me some very interesting things. I asked about the sacking of Pete Best, and how Pete felt about that, and why he never made contact with the Beatles since his mother's relationship with Neil Aspinall and so on. It was really interesting. So I really recommend the tour to anyone who's in Liverpool. It's much less touristy than the Cavern Club, visiting the Cavern Club, and it's much more rewarding in my opinion. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, goodbye.